Well, hello.
Hello, how you doing again, Miss Jackson?
I'm doing fine, Mr. Smith. You look well.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, you do. How was your week this week?
It's been, as I said, pretty much a regular week. Although I did get a chance to take my mother out to the arts festival that just started last week. With some
Great.
effort, I was able to get her there and wheel her around for a little bit. She always liked going there every year, so I
Okay.
tried to make sure we got there this year. So actually, it was a pretty good week.
Great, great, great. Okay, well, just real quick, reiterating about last week, and just to let you remind you that what we do talk about is in confidence. Okay,
Okay.
and that's we find that we need to share that information.
Okay.
I kind of wanted to ask you how you've been handling the challenges in caring for your mother.
Well, um, y- it's really been like a learning experience for me, so to speak. Because again, like when we first started, my mother was, not nearly in the shape that she is now.
Mm-hmm.
But as she's progressed and aged, it's, really been a learning experience about, her different conditions, the way that they're cared for. Um, certainly with her taking different medications and the side effects, and I worry about those types of things, for drug interactions and all the things that they've been, teaching me about, and along with the physical challenges, she, needs help, in and out the bathroom and dressing. Yeah, and so like these are some things that she was doing before on her own, and I really didn't have to worry about it. And so now that's something that I have to help her with, to the point of where now like she's using the potty chair,
Okay.
but and that's helped out a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And as I said, like a while ago, she fell, and so that's been like a little bit more of a challenge because she wasn't, really needing a walk or anything. She was getting around the house by herself. But since she's, fell, that's been, just one more worry for me. And I've been trying to stay just a little bit closer because she's been used to moving around the house and, getting things on her own. Now that her balance is, not quite as good, um, it's becoming more of a challenge than what it was.
Okay.
So
Okay. Um, I'd like to ask you. You mentioned um, about your family, and that you different people, different members, um, live out of state.
mm-hmm.
Um,
Well, my brother, he's out the country.
Out of the country. Oh, pardon me. I
Mm-hmm.
apologize. Thank you. Thank you. But how do you feel about that? Is there any, you know?
Well, it does really cause me concern. I mean, I understand my sister, like she's married, and her family and her husband and all that are in Oregon, and I guess if something should happen, she's a long car drive or plane ride away. But with my brother being in Japan, it's going to take him a little bit longer to get here. So I really don't feel like I have. Again, as I said before, I know I have their moral support and some financial support, but should there be something arise physically, or medically that I am not totally knowledgeable of, then to have someone here to really help me out with that. There's no cousins or uncles or aunts available for that. So like I sort of feel like I'm by myself in having to make those kinds of decisions. Especially if they have to be done immediately. Something like long term that we could talk out, over the phone maybe, but something that needs to be done immediately. I'm kind of on my own there.
I see. Um, I know that your primary care physician
Mm-hmm.
was concerned about your health from, you taking care of your mother. How are you doing? How are you taking care of yourself?
Well, I I take what little time I can, because again, my attention is towards my mother. So, like, as far as my uh, uh, um, getting out to like my physical activities, basketball, which was also sort of like a social outlet for me too, because I played with a lot of my friends. We'd get out, have a few beers or something, like, go meet girls or something. I just really haven't had a chance to do that for quite some time because again, I'm caring for her. So not only has my physical activity sort of gone down, but that was part of it, sort of my social outlet as well. So they've both sort of not been where I'd like it to be.
I understand. You mentioned earlier that you may have had a diagnosis or had some things going on with the mental
Hmm.
health. Is that
Yeah. Hmm.
okay? When you were going, what did you find it helpful or?
Well, yeah, it was helpful to have someone to talk to, someone who could, maybe have some, different set of ideas or, some advice. I really wasn't crazy about, taking medication. So I did take that for a while, but I've certainly felt better not
Mhm.
taking it.
Okay, I see. I see. So, what kind of things do you like to do to relieve stress?
Well,
Do you have some activities
well,
that you mentioned?
as I said, like, getting out playing basketball and being around, friends and that was always a good way of relieving stress. Currently, like, I basically just watch TV, and care for my mom. Like, I don't get a chance to, I like going to the movies, going out to eat, as I said, like getting out with my mom to the arts festival was certainly
Great, great.
a good opportunity to get out. But again, I just don't get a lot of opportunities to do that
hmm
like I used to, or like I want to. So,
You said earlier that you'd like to go to college and become a drug counselor.
mhm.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, uh, I feel that I got some help with my problems, through some counseling and some breaks that I'd gotten through the court system, and I felt that I wouldn't have made it, to where I am without some counseling and without some caring people. Like there was a real caring counselor named Miss Piggy who helped me through some really hard times, and if I could just help other people out the way that she helped me, I feel like I'd really be doing something good with my life because it had did some good for me.
Okay, good, good. And so, what are your thoughts about us working together? Do you have any expectations?
Well, of course, I'm hoping that you know you all can help me out with my situation with my grandmother, and you know possibly like um, maybe teach me some techniques or some ways of dealing with my stress. I'm certainly not hoping that you all are going to be just prescribing more pills and medication, because I don't think that's the way to go. That medication is going to solve any of the problems that I have, actually. So,
Right. Well, what we'd like to do is, I would like to um, refer you to vocational rehabilitation
Okay.
to get started on the testing to go back to school.
Oh, okay.
And I'd like to see you.
So can y'all help me out financially at all? As far as like tuition, like that?
During the process of the vocational rehabilitation, they do help you with applying for financial aid.
Oh, outstanding. We do.
So yes, that is an avenue. And also, I would like to see you maybe get back into an activity at least once a week.
Well, that would be really good. But again, it's going to be kind of hard because you know,
Um, so what we're going to look into, and I'm just wondering if how you feel about this, is we're going to look into maybe a respite care that or nursing services, someone that would come in for a few hours a day to relieve you from caring for your mother, that you could take some time for yourself, and they would also care for your mother, and then you could take care of some things.
oh, that would be great.
Okay. And can we agree that we are going to work together
Sure.
and trying to?
I'm willing to try if you all are willing to try.
Great. So if I'd like to see you back next week.
Okay.
And meanwhile, I'd definitely like to see you hear about what you did this week.
Okay.
For yourself. And I'm going to have some information and maybe a couple consent forms, and we'll talk about those things first. And we'll get started. How's
Cool.
that sound?
Sounds good.
Great. All right. Well, you have a good day.
You too.
Thank you.